Hello and welcome to the Keepin It Pinned podcast with your hosts Owen.
I'm Jamie.
And I'm Keegan.
Hello, Keeks. It's your first time on the show.
It is, yeah. It's quite nervous.
Yeah?
Quite nervous, but no, it's good.
Yeah, it should be good. We're just to introduce you guys to Keegan. Owen, you have only met him about 10 minutes ago for the
Just
first
met
time.
him.
Yeah, so
Long time coming.
Yeah, so
Yep.
Keeks, we met each other a few years ago through camera stuff, basically, didn't we? Through
Yeah,
cameras and cars.
basically through our love of photography, I guess.
Yeah.
Which looks to have been an evolving thing for both of us over the last couple of years. Obviously, you stepping more into videography.
Yeah, starting to do my own stuff a little bit more rather than just taking photos for other people. But
And
you're
the podcast as
and
well.
the podcast, yeah, of course, can't forget it. Obviously, you're doing not only are you doing your photography, you're also putting on car events, mostly camera based and whatnot as well.
Yeah, so the idea behind that was basically to get like-minded people in the same sort of area, just take photos and network, basically socialise. Seem to be doing all right. I've met some really good people. It's just a bit of a passion, so I thought, why not, really?
Yeah, and you've, as of recent, started to spread that passion over into bikes as well, haven't you?
Oh, massively. I have now realised that although I have still got a very fond love for cars, they're not quite as exciting as a motorbike.
Yeah, yeah, that's fair.
It's only
I think
taken me
we're-
11 years of driving to realise that.
I think we
but-
all sort of share that mentality. We,
Yeah.
all three of us are. We love cars, don't we? We've all got a proper passion for them, but they just don't quite hit the spot like bikes do they?
No, they don't. They don't. Something, yeah, I think, we touched on it before, something about the freedom of a bike and kind of just being out in the open and the kind of, exposure to the elements that for me is different to a car.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. So,
Because you're not a new rider. You had a 50, was it, or a 125 years ago?
Yeah, so I had a CBT, Christ, many years ago.
Mhm.
I had a 50 and a 125, and that was sort of as far as I got. I done 5 winters, I think it was, on a 125.
Oh yeah, because you daily you didn't have a car at the time, did you?
No, I was very lucky. I think I passed my car test when I was like 21.
Oh, okay.
So from the age of 17, I was on a moped, and then obviously got the 125.
What 125?
It was a Honda CG 125. It's a great bike. I've still got it, actually. It's at home. It's just in bits in the cupboard under my stairs. I've got this thing. I love keeping my bikes in the house.
Yeah, clearly, yeah, because you've obviously bought. So we'll look back round, but you've got a ZX7R as well, haven't you? That
Yes.
lives in the house at the moment.
Yeah, I was just talking to Owen. Yeah, I've got a 97 P2 Ninja ZX7R. Great bike.
Yeah.
Great bike.
Yeah,
So
lovely
fun.
We'll get back onto that in a minute. But so you had your 125 for a few winters. You were dailing it. How come we were obviously just talking about the fact that you've got a passion for cars? How come it took you that long? Were you trying to get your car license, or were you just not interested? Or
To be honest, it was always finances.
Yeah.
I was working part-time. I didn't really want to work. I guess when you're younger, you don't really want to work.
does anyone ever want to work?
So
well, true.
I done sort of the bare essential I needed to do to get by. Had my 125. I was quite happy with that. All of my friends sort of had bikes at the time, sort of C90s, old KH 125s, and sort of all old school stuff. So it never really bothered me that I didn't have a car until that last winter. That really bothered me then. So yeah, then obviously done all my car tests, and took me a few years to see the light and get my bike test done, really.
Yeah. Did you have much of an interest in between the sort of coming off the bikes and getting back on, or was it? Did you have a proper hiatus? And
I've always had a fascination for bikes. Again, that finances is the only thing that ever stopped me getting a bike sooner. So yeah, I've always had the passion for it. Even before I passed my bike test, me and my friends would go away to Bulgaria. We've done various enduro off-road trips over in Bulgaria.
Nice.
I've always had the passion for it, just never really had the money to be able to set it aside to do it.
yeah, it's fair.
So you've only recently got your bike license then?
Yeah, so I passed in January. Passed in January.
You bought the bike first, though, didn't you?
I did, yeah. I actually bought the bike in, I think it was September, October time. It came up at the right money, quite close to home. I was looking for a SRAD 750 before that, and then realised that I didn't really like that big sort of back end on them. Was a bit more drawn to the ZX7. Found one, instantly fell in love.
Yeah.
Went and bought it, and then just had it as a bit of a display piece in my lounge whilst I was sort of squirreling money away to do my bike test.
Yeah, because it's you got really lucky as well. You got it for good money and it's clean as well. And I know you had a couple of bits to do to it when you first got it, but overall, you didn't have a lot to do, did you?
No. So before I bought it, it was off the road for the last owner told me sort of 5-6 years. How true that is, I don't know. It hadn't been MOT'd for a few years, so it needed a little bit of tinkering, shall we say. A good friend of mine, George, he helped me rebuild the front brakes, put an MOT on it. I've recently just upgraded the slave cylinder. I put an Oberon one on it. That is pretty much as far as I've gone with it, really. Just sort of iron out any little teething problems it's got.
Yeah, nice. So did you test through Ipswich Rider or
so yeah, it was. I can't remember. Are they called Ipswich Rider Training or Anglia Rider Training?
Oh, I don't know.
We did change at one point. Yeah,
it was IRT when we did it, wasn't it?
I think it might be Anglian Rider Training
okay.
now.
Right.
Great guys. It was Rob down there who actually got me through my test. Done all my training with them right the way through from my CBT right up to my Mod 1, Mod 2 tests. Got them out the way with. Like I say, great guys. Recommend them to anyone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really, really good instructors. They're there to teach you how to ride safely, not just, get you through your test.
Yeah.
They want to teach you the skill for life as such. I know it's a bit of a cliche, really, because I feel myself, you don't really learn how to ride a bike until you're doing it on the road.
I think you're always learning, aren't you, really?
You can learn the basics, but every day you learn something new.
Yeah.
Every time I'm out on the bike, I'm like, oh, okay, that, I've picked that up this time, or, you always learn something new. But they really are good guys down there.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. So how did you find your test? Obviously, we spoke in a previous episode about how Owen got on with his CVT.
Went really well.
It went really well. Yeah. But yours went all smoothly. I'd like to hear.
Yeah. I was nervous to do it, but I passed it all first time, which I was, thankful again to Anglia Rider Training. Without them, I don't think I would have passed it first time because, when you're off the road for 10 years, not being on a bike and being in a car, naturally you pick up bad habits.
Yeah.
So yeah, they got me through it all. I've gone off on a tangent. I can't remember where we were now.
How was your test?
Yeah, so like I say, I was a bit nervous to start with, but it was actually all right. It was probably so much easier than the driving test from what I can remember. Which I was equally as nervous for, but I found the bike test to be a lot more sort of relaxed.
Yeah, good.
I think you just kind of look at it as it is a test, yes, but if you tell yourself in your head it's a test, you build these walls up of nerves. And so a good friend of mine, George, again, he basically said to me, you just look at it as you're going for a ride with your friend. It was like, if you look at it like that, naturally you're going to be a bit more at ease. You're not going to be stressed or nervous. So that was how I looked at it, and it seemed to work.
Yeah, clearly, yeah.
So yeah,
it worked for you, which is great.
Was it both parts you think were easier, or is it any particular? You got the Mod 1 and the Mod 2. Mod 2 being quite similar to a car test. Mod 1 being a lot more closed course and sort of manoeuvres based.
For the Mod 1, you do build it up in your head a bit more than it actually is.
Yeah.
So obviously you've got your swerve and all your emergency brake, and you build it up a lot harder than it is. But once you're actually out there doing it, it's just like, okay, well, that is actually a doddle. And I felt the same, if not more relaxed on my Mod 2, because obviously being on the road in a car, and doing your test around the area, so you already kind of know the road layout or whatever.
That takes a lot away from it, doesn't it? A lot of the stress
So
away.
a lot of the pressure is then lifted because you know the area where you're riding. I would say I found the Mod 1 not hard, but it felt harder than the Mod 2 just because you've got to pass that before you can go and do your Mod 2.
Yeah,
So,
I suppose that sort of the first of the proper tests as well, isn't it? That's your bit you're going to be nervous about. Once you've sort of done that, then it's okay. Well, I've done that. I can do the next bit. But
That's it. And if you don't get through that mod 1, you're not going through your mod 2 until you have got through the mod 1.
Yeah.
So it's kind of you build yourself up, I guess, just like, I've got to do this. I've got to get through this bit to be able to do the next bit. Fortunately, I passed first time. Really happy. So I, like I say, just treated the mod 2 as a ride with a friend.
Yeah.
And that seemed to work for me as well. So
good.
Yeah, nice. I think another thing as well for me, like the mod 1, it's such a sterile environment, isn't it? Like you're sort of on the on the grounds of the test center, and you've got the kind of everyone looking at you. There's all that sort of pressure.
I think that's where a lot of the pressure comes from on the day when you're there, because you walk into your test center, with your instructor, whatever, you're meeting the people who are going to do your mod 1 with you, but then there's all the people that are there for their car tests. They're all sat in the waiting room, and you can see the mod 1 bit from that reception bit as such. So I think a lot of the pressure is, if I fail this, everyone in there is going to know that I failed it.
And if you drop the bike, everyone's going to be looking.
That's it. And it's almost as if it's like, if you don't pass, kind of like a walk of shame.
Yeah.
So I think there's maybe a little bit of pressure that comes from that naturally. Obviously, it's not intentional pressure.
No, and equally, there's no shame if, for anyone that doesn't pass, there is no shame in it at all. Sometimes it doesn't work out, sometimes something happens, but it's still a big deal in your head. And like you say, this is what you've built yourself up to for weeks, months, potentially.
Yep.
And having everyone sitting there watching. Do we want to just quickly say what is involved in the mod 1?
Yeah, I don't think we've actually covered, have we?
No, I think obviously we know that there's a mod 1 and a mod 2. The mod 2 is just out on the road, basically just like a car test in it. You'll be told to pull over on the side of the road safely.
Yep.
Little bits like that. Obviously, you can't really do a parallel park or anything like that on a bike.
Obviously, you turn in the road and whatnot as well.
Yeah.
Which they cover that in the mod 1 as well. So obviously, the things that you do on your mod 1, like your swerves, your emergency brake, your sort of turn in the road, they will mimic that on the mod 2 whilst you're out on the road. So
okay, yeah.
Although you've passed it on your mod 1, you've still got to be able to show them that you're comfortable and confident enough to do it.
Yeah, because it's been a few years now for you and I, hasn't it, Owen, that we
Definitely
did ours.
has, yeah.
So what is it? You start off. Go on, talk us through how it actually goes. So you turn up on the day. There's a few of you all doing it at once, isn't there?
For the mod 1.
For the mod 1, yep.
So obviously you're there. They'll call your name out, whatever, your number, whatever they do it. With me, it was my name. They just called me through. They asked me to read registration number from a distance. I was like squinting, like, can I read that? So you read your number plate, and then they ask you to get on the bike. What they're looking for when you're on the bike is obviously your shoulder check straight away before you even move away from the bay.
Okay.
So when you pull up to the test centre in Ipswich, obviously that's where I done my test. I parked facing forward into a bay, and I should have really thought, and I should have reversed it into the bay.
Yeah, made life easier for yourself.
It would have made life easier, but straight away, so he was like, right, you can get on your bike. I want you to ride up to the gate. So straight away, shoulder checks, check everything's clear. It is, because it's on the test centre, but you have to show them that you're safe.
Yeah.
So I'd done all of that. They pulled me through to the mod 1 bit. He said to me, basically, go and park in a bay at the end and wait for him, which I done. Once he sort of walks over to you, he then asks you can get off the bike now. And then basically you have to wheel the bike backwards into the bay beside you. So whether you pick the left-hand bay or the right-hand bay is completely up to yourself. I picked the right-hand bay just because I felt a lot more control sort of wheeling the bike backwards into the left-hand bay.
Yep.
So you do all your shoulder checks before you even move the bike. So I'd done all of that. Then it was basically, I think it was a turn in the road next, which they just put a few little cones out and you just turn sort of in between the cones.
As sort of the width of a wide road sort of a thing.
That's
isn't
it, yeah. But you can't put your feet down. You've got to obviously show that it's smooth and controlled as such. I'd done that, and then it was the sort of swerve of the cones. And then it was the emergency brake as well.
The swerve, you've got to go through that at a certain speed, don't
Yeah,
you?
so there's a speed trap. I think from memory, it's amazing how much you forget once you've got that test
It's done then,
'cause
yeah,
it all just
yeah.
goes to the back of your head, sort of thing. You sort of remember the safe things that you need to do.
Of course, yeah.
But yeah, from memory, I think it was 47 kilometers an hour. It's like 32 mile an hour or something
okay.
like
Sounds
that.
about right, yeah.
And I think I managed to go through the speed trap at like 52 kilometers an hour. And then obviously you stop. But you do get a second attempt on that as such. So they'll allow you to do it. And then they'll say to you, so I think that was it. You do your avoidance first, and then the second one is the speed trap
Right.
with the emergency brake.
Yep.
But when you do your avoidance, if you've not gone fast enough for your emergency brake, they'll tell you. So they'll say, right, you come through here at, for example, 46 kilometers, you need to be doing 47 kilometers.
Yeah, okay.
So subconsciously, it's in your head that I need to just go that little bit quicker.
Yeah.
But that's not actually part of the test before. So it's them helping you.
Yeah, okay.
So my instructor basically said, listen to what the person doing your test has got to say, because they will direct you a lot with what they're actually saying. It's all in how he words it to you, which is dead true, So yeah, I done that bit, done the speed trap, and then I obviously emergency brake, and then from memory, I think that was about it. Then you sort of ride back over to the gate.
You still got to do it. And I think it's until you leave the gate, everything's got to be proper, then you've still got to be doing your shoulder checks. You've still got to be making
even
sure
to
that
the
you're
point
safe.
where you park outside of the gate.
Right, okay,
They're
yeah.
still sort of watching what you're doing there to make sure that you're safe.
Mhm.
So
I remember being very aware of that.
So yeah, obviously, that was nerve-wracking on the day, but then once you've done it and you walk back into that test centre, not knowing whether you've passed or failed, you instantly feel relieved that it's done.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, awesome stuff. Awesome stuff.
Good. Nice one. So then, obviously, onto your mod 2, which is, we were just saying, it's basically just a ride around on the road. Like Owen said, the mod 1's very sterile in it. It's very much, they've got a list of things that they need to see. They need to check them off. You have to do everything as by the book. Not saying that obviously you can do anything that you shouldn't do out on the road, but it doesn't feel. I don't remember feeling as much pressure for the second bit, because, like you say, you haven't got all those eyes on you. You haven't got, right, I've got to go through this bit at this speed. You're being careful of obviously making sure that all your theory side of things is put into practice, making sure that you're still doing your shoulder checks and all that. But it's a very different environment, though, isn't it?
100%, 100%. And the instructor sort of said to me before we left for the mod 2, when we're sort of just chatting, as you do, he said, if the gap is big enough for you and you're safe to pull out, you go. He said, I'll catch up to you.
Yeah.
Which in a way is kind of the best thing that you want,
Yeah.
because you kind of want to put a bit of space between you and the instructor.
Yeah.
So if you
have a breather.
if you do forget a shoulder check,
Yeah.
it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
But in your head, you're like, right, I know I missed that. So when he's behind me, I'm just, you make sure that you're doing the right things at the right time. And I mean, even when I'm driving the work van or my car or whatever I'm driving now, I'm subconsciously doing shoulder checks just because it becomes a force of habit.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I know. I mean, obviously, I drive a van for the most part. Anyway, I drive a lot of vans with work. But I end up not using my rearview mirror quite a lot. And again, I know that that's a thing. Riding bikes, moving to cars, this and that and the other. It's all you pick up funny habits that transfer over to the other one, and like obviously there's no rear view mirror on a bike. You're always looking at your sort of wing mirrors as such.
Yep.
It's funny how they transfer over.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, they do. And I was just going to say as well, I think that riding a bike, I think it makes you a safer car driver.
Absolutely.
100%. The two interchange, and you're looking out. You've got constant sort of awareness of how vulnerable bikers are, and the checks that they're doing and their road position and stuff like that, doing it yourself. So yeah, it's definitely you see things differently once you know how to ride a bike, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I think it makes you, like you say, far much more aware of just when you're on a bike. Obviously you do feel very exposed to other traffic and whatnot, and you do quite quickly pick up that, oh, that could kill me, that could kill me, that could kill me, and so you do become very almost skittish, don't you? But I noticed that after riding a bike, I could spot a car that looks like he's going to pull out from a junction from miles away, you know what they're going to do.
It's because you're not necessarily looking at the car in front of you, although you're aware of what that car's doing. You're also looking 3 or 4 cars up to see if there's
ahead
any,
almost, isn't it? Yeah,
see if there's any dangers sort of hidden ahead.
And I think the same thing that very quickly transfers over to your driving side of things as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, no, it's definitely it's a good, you know, even if you're not interested in riding bikes, it's actually just good to have that awareness for other roadies and stuff like that. So
yeah, it's almost worth doing a couple of years of riding a bike just to make you a better driver in general, because like you say, you do feel that exposure and you're just very much aware, even if it's just, you end up always checking your mirrors a lot more because you think, oh, there might be a bike coming up, lane splitting behind me or something, and you're not going to just, oh, I know there's a gap in the traffic next to me, I'll just quickly nip over. You're always going to check your mirror in case there's a bike coming up in between the 2 lanes of traffic and stuff like that. So yeah, I think it does definitely make you a much better driver. If I were to never ride a bike again, I'm still glad that I did it just from that safety point of view for driving a car.
Yeah, 100%. So would you say you enjoyed the process of learning and maybe not the test so much and the pressure, but
I enjoyed the whole lot of it. When I sit sort of once I'd passed and I sat there and sort of reflected on all the training that they'd given me at Anglo Rider Training, even sort of doing the tests, I was like, I just loved it. But it wasn't because it's not like you're doing a test. It's like, I get to ride a bike again. I've got a week off work just riding a motorbike. Life don't get any better than this.
Can't beat it.
And then, at the end of that week, I can now ride something that's quicker. Like, win. What a win.
It only gets better from here.
Literally that. Yeah. So yeah, I enjoyed the process, I think. Yeah. And if I ever lose my bike license for whatever reason, I'll enjoy it again.
Yeah. So all the reason more to.
So what were you riding for your test then?
I think it was a Z650.
Oh, okay.
So it wasn't a fast bike. Very forgiving. A very forgiving bike. It was nice to have ABS.
Yeah.
All of that jazz. Nice riding position. Quite torquey.
Yeah.
It was enjoyable. As far as a bike on your sort of training or your test is going to be, it was enjoyable. They're not going to give you the fastest bike in the world because they are killer machines in the wrong hand.
Yeah.
But I if I needed a commuter bike, Z650, what a bike to have.
Yeah.
Great bikes, great all rounders.
I think anything in that sort of category, really, like the CBR 650s, be it the naked or the fully faired one. There's a lot of sort of more upright sport bike, like commuter friendly sport bikes now, isn't there? There was a big category probably 5-10 years ago, loads coming out when they're, like you say, the Z650s, the CBRs. Can't even think of any others now. The MT, of course. Yeah, the MT-07. Yeah, it became very much a thing that I was almost a little bit disappointed about it, actually, when it first started happening. You think, oh, a new CBR coming out, brilliant. Oh, it's a 500 parallel twin or whatever it is, single. No, it's a twin, isn't it, the 500?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, but it's quite upright and, all right, it serves its purpose.
It's different strokes for different folks.
Yeah,
isn't
exactly.
It, at the end of the day?
I think, getting excited about it being a sport bike, but then when you look at what the actual target audience is, it's a lot more understandable. But yeah, very good bikes for what they need to do anyway. They certainly tick a lot of boxes for a lot of people. I remember, was it an XJ6? I think. I don't know whether that was
the
my
Yamaha diversions.
Yeah. I think
shaft driven thing, aren't they?
Was it shaft driven? No, there might have been a.
I know the 9s were shaft driven.
Right. Okay.
I know some of the 9. Well, yeah, they were shaft driven because I worked on them in college. I done motorbike mechanics in college.
Oh, okay.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I remember that was what I think that might have been for the A2 that I had that, because I think I did my A2 at Cam Rider in Ipswich, and then full license. Yeah, full license at Ipswich Rider Training. Yeah. But I remember the first time that was on one of the lessons, and we sort of, you spend so much time driving or riding around the town, doing just your normal sort of little manoeuvres, 30 mile an hour, everything. And I remember the first time they said, right, okay, we're in a national. It's a little bit more, through the trees and whatever. It's a nice big open road. And they said, just open it up a bit. Don't go silly, but just open it up a bit and see how you get on. and God, that was ridiculous. You know, I was used to cars with a maximum of sort of 70, 80 horsepower at the time, and having sort of not far off that on a bike, that was exciting. That felt ridiculous, and I was like, I'm absolutely hooked at that point. I mean, I already was, but even more so once I got that feeling.
Yeah, 100%. I don't think you'll ever really forget that kind of first twist of the throttle of a big bike.
Yeah,
you know, when
yeah.
you've done your CBT and they've put you on a big bike and they go on, just take it easy, but open it up. And it just lights you up, doesn't it? And
I think I was a bit frightened to open it up at first, not because of my confidence in myself, but I booked all my bike tests and I woke up on the Monday and there was snow on the ground.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
I had to ring Anglia Rider Trading and be like, you know, is it still going ahead this week? And they were like, yeah, if you don't come in, you'll lose your deposit. And I was like, well, damn, I've paid you guys in full.
get the snowplow out there, let's go.
I'll be there. Like, you don't worry about that. I'll be there. But luckily for my Mod 1, the roads had sort of dried up to a degree where the test centre was actually all right to be there. And my Mod 2 was a nice dry day as well. But I was a bit sort of frightened to open it up initially because I was like, well, I don't know where the ice is. You know, there's black ice everywhere. I don't want to come off. Like, I really don't want to come off. And I can just remember I was getting up in the mornings and I was laying up. So I was like an onion. I had so many layers on. I had like 3 pairs of joggers on, 2 hoodies, and then I was going there and putting all the bike gear on as well. So you feel a bit restricted a little bit on the bike. But yeah, I think I was a bit nervous to actually open it up just because there could have been ice there.
Yeah.
But once I did open it up, I was hooked. I was like, oh, where's the next straight?
Yeah,
Like, where's the next national? Where can I open it up again?
Oh, brilliant. So obviously we know you passed your test. That all went well. You went home. Did you jump straight on the ZX7 and go out for a blast? Or
Yes, I did.
Did you? I'm
Yes,
surprised,
I
yeah.
did.
Go on then. What was that like? What did that feel like?
It was all right until it wasn't.
Okay.
But I think I managed 36, 37 miles and then the bike broke down.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh, yeah. I was just like, are you some sort of... Yeah, you know, I was like, I've waited for months to get on this, and the first time I do, like, I'd taken it up the road slyly, you know, not really opened it up, but just poodled round the estate or whatever.
All on private roads, obviously.
All private roads in
Your
Mexico.
You're on.
But yeah, it was great until it wasn't, basically,
Yeah,
and I enjoyed it, and you know, it only ended up being a fuel pump relay, so put a new one of them on, and yeah, I couldn't wait to get back out on it. I actually took the next day off work, so I sort of put it in a diary at work that, you know, I'm off for my test, but if I pass my test, I won't be in on a Friday.
Yeah.
And I passed my test, and I was like, oh, the weather's still a bit miserable, but I'm gonna have it off anyway, you know, and I'll take the bike out. So put a new relay on it. Didn't end up getting out on it on the Friday because I was waiting for the part to arrive. But that first ride on it was insane. You know, it just because it was mine. You know, it was everything I'd worked up for. I was now sitting on this absolute crotch rocket that was my own. I haven't got no more tests to do, and I can just start to gel with the bike and start to learn the bike.
Yeah. It's all well and good having it sitting in, well, obviously in your lounge, but until you can actually get out and ride it, you never have a proper connection as such with it, do you? But
100%. I can just remember sort of opening it up, sort of coming up one of the hills, sort of near where I live. And I was just like, this shouldn't be legal. How is this allowed? Like, how am I allowed to ride this?
Yeah.
What idiot gave me that?
It literally was that. And I was like, what idiot has insured me for £112 for the year? Or whatever it was. I was like, are they bonkers? Like, but no, it's really good fun. Good. I mean, I've got, 2,500 miles on the bike under my belt now,
is
near
ridiculous.
enough.
We were just talking about that. I mean, so this was, when did you pass your test?
January. Sort of mid-January.
So you've done 2,500 miles since January. I've done a few laps of a racetrack. Owen, have you been out on yours yet this year?
Oh no, it's getting there. I'm getting FOMO. I keep seeing guys out, you know, and it's getting to that time of year, isn't it? Where definitely soon.
We were talking about it in a previous episode where we become very much fair weather riders now. I haven't got a bike on the road, so although it's like you're saying, when you see other bikes coming past and stuff, when you're out in the car, you think, oh yeah, I'd love to get out at the moment, but I've not had the option to. I think even if I had, I might have maybe been out once by now on a really hot day, but that was about it. But yeah, to do 2.5 hours, you must be absolutely loving it.
Oh, I am. I can't. I'm going back out on Saturday for a ride.
Yeah.
I'll be out Sunday. Like
Just out and about, or do you make a bit of a trip, or what's your...
So I've got a couple of guys that I sort of ride with that have got road bikes. They sort of, my mate Connor, he had his A2. Always had bigger restricted bikes, Your Honour. Always had bigger restricted bikes, but figured that it probably should do his A1 license and take the restrictors out. So he sort of passed, I think it was like a couple of weeks before me on his full bike test. And then another lad I know, Luke, he passed his full test sort of the same sort of time that I did.
Oh, nice.
So we kind of go out for a blast together. We'll go over to Triple T over in Sudbury and grab a breakfast and do a sort of little route back. But most of the time my riding is, I'm planning more stuff now.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I've got the bike and I actually want to be out on it. So I don't mind. I'll go and see 5 people in a day. It doesn't bother me because
just an
the
excuse
bit
to
for
ride.
me is the riding in between. You
Nice.
know, that's what I'm enjoying. So yeah, any opportunity, I'll get it out and just go for a blast, have a bit of fun on it. And yeah, I am looking forward to doing more actual sort of route stuff in the summer though.
Yeah, it's always nice to find an excuse to get out for a ride. You know, you run your sort of usual errands and you maybe find the more scenic route to get there. But when you actually start making a proper bike plan, I mean, I know we had some plans that sort of fell apart a little bit for this year.
Hopefully for next year.
Hopefully
though.
next year, that'd be nice to sort something out soon, definitely. But yeah, when you actually start thinking, oh yeah, I can just go away now. I can go away for a long weekend on the bike and I can make a proper trip of it based around being on the bike. That's awesome. I absolutely love doing that. I mean, Owen, you and I went to the Peak District
We did.
a few years ago. That was a lot of years ago now, actually. Wasn't it? But
Really quite a few years ago, yeah.
But
what a trip. Yeah.
that was that your first big trip on the bike?
It's not my only big trip on the bike.
Yeah, me too, actually, come to think of it.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah.
And I remember we were in, I think we'd all been out doing our usual stuff, you know, like you're saying, Keegan, we all sort of met up. There was a little group of us. We'd meet up, we'd ride around and do some silly things. And we all absolutely loved being out on bikes. And it didn't get a little bit samey. I still love doing it. But we were sitting at McDonald's, as we often ended up doing. And I sort of said, why don't we go away somewhere cool? Why don't we just do a bit of a bike trip? And everyone was like, yeah, why haven't we done that yet? And it was sort of, this was on a Saturday or a Sunday, and then I think it was 2 weeks later, we all had all of our gear on our backs. Everyone met up at my mum and dad's old place.
Yeah,
6 bikes in the garage.
Very
I think
early
it
in
was.
the morning, wasn't
Very
it? We
early in
stayed
the morning.
overnight.
Yeah, and yeah, we all got up and annoyed all the neighbours, started our bikes up, and off we went up to the Peak District, and that was absolutely awesome. I really, really enjoyed that trip. We could have probably planned it a little bit better and maybe looked into some of the nicer places to go, but we did, you know, all of the normal ones, your Snake Pass and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, just that feeling of getting on the bike and knowing that you are just going away purely to ride bikes for a long weekend, that was mega.
It was. Yeah, mega weekend, actually. Yeah. And why haven't we done that since? Why haven't we done that since?
I don't know. Well, again,
good.
Like I was just saying, we last year we were meant to go away, weren't we? In the summer, we were going to do a trip to Germany, and then that fell apart. And then we sort of tried to replan it for this year, and that's fallen apart again. So yeah, we need to start hitting some of these bucket list things that we keep talking about. But yeah, really good, that trip to the Peak District. We all learnt quite a bit, I think. I remember I hit a pheasant, didn't I? Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. So I was on my Bandit 600, and I think that was going along Snake Pass, wasn't it? And there was sort of like quite a tall verge on the right-hand side, and we were going along legal limits and everything, as we always do, Your Honour.
Of course.
And this pheasant flew out last second from the right-hand side, and luckily that hit like my fork stanchions, I suppose. So if it was a little bit higher, it would have bust my headlight with the force I hit it at.
Hang on, did it fly out? Or did
It
walk
flew.
out?
No, it flew from the verge.
Okay. I'm just trying to picture the scenario.
Yeah.
'cause I do
So
briefly
it
remember
was probably like head height when it came out, and flew obviously sort of down at an angle.
Well, that's quite low for you.
yeah, he was walking pretty much.
That's near the front wheel.
But yeah, luckily he he sort of flew down enough that he didn't go under my front wheel because again, there's quite a lump of pheasant. You know, they're not little birds.
It's enough to unsettle you.
Yeah,
pigeon.
absolutely. So yeah, it hit just above my front wheel, underneath my headlight, and again, obviously, if it was at height, chest or head height, God, that would have been quite a thump, I think. But yeah, you know, lots of little incidents. I remember Dan as well, who went with us on his Bandit. He was going around corners. I don't know whether it was an exhaust bolt or something, but when he'd go like through a dip, his bolt was sparking on the floor, and there was sparks going everywhere, and we couldn't work out what it was for ages. And yeah, that was good fun though. That was really, really good. We all had Senna headsets as well, so we were all chatting to each other and having a laugh. And then we stayed above a pub, didn't we?
Yeah.
And the landlord was really, really nice. Gave us sort of like a locked area to park our bikes up. And yeah, it was just a mega weekend. Except the ride home, that was a little bit more miserable, wasn't it?
Ride home was a bit miserable. It was why I cheered myself up with my cheer.
A bit of singing. Yeah.
Should tell that story quickly.
Yeah, go on.
Well, we riding down the A1.
Yeah.
And we had our centers on, and I had my tunes on, just playing it through the headset. And I think
we were all chatting originally, weren't we? And then we all sort of said,
yeah.
we're all just going to listen to a bit of music and just plod through this and, you know, get ourselves home.
Yeah, and yeah, exactly. We were just smashing through the miles, and it was freezing cold at this point, and just anything to get yourself home.
Raining.
And yeah, it was probably raining a little bit, and we'd all disconnected. I put my music on. I think it was Muse actually.
It was.
And I was belting out Muse, and I think it was probably Uprising. And then at one point, me and Jamie reconnect.
You didn't realise, did you? Our headsets, they're funny old things, as Sennas. They're really, really good when they're working. And sometimes they just randomly disconnect or they won't pair properly or whatever. But mine, for some reason, just reconnected to Owen. And I just sat there for about a minute listening to Owen blurting out Muse at the top of his lungs.
I was loving life.
Yeah, clearly. Well, you
bike,
managed to
listen to
cheer
Muse.
yourself up because I was quite miserable until that point. But that cheered me up as well. But oh, yeah, good fun. But yeah, genuinely a mega weekend. So I'm looking forward to you getting out and telling us some stories about some longer trips, Keegan, that you're hoping on doing.
100%. Hopefully get some more.
You've
more
got
trips
a
under the belt.
trip to Germany, don't you, at some point for a car show?
No, I'm not doing.
Oh,
that
not anymore?
now.
Right,
No,
okay.
I was going to, but to be honest, I think I'd rather put the spare money that I can save every month back into the bike to
Fair.
make it
Yep.
sort of better.
Yeah.
Because I do want to get it on track this year. The main reason why I haven't is because the tyres. I don't trust the tyres.
Yeah.
I really want to put some decent tyres on it, really. So I'll do tyres. I'll do a few other little bits just to tighten it up a bit. I guess I'd like to get a steering damper for it.
Okay. Yeah.
Because obviously it doesn't have one.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm not doing Germany this year. I'm doing Holland in June.
Okay. On the bike.
I'm in two minds whether to go across on the bike.
Mm-hmm.
It's only an hour down to Harwich and sort of 2 hours the other side.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, well,
It's a
it's
Sunday
not,
afternoon
it's
ride,
not
isn't it?
that far really, is it? But then it's the
Go further in the UK.
Yeah.
Just going up to the Peak District. or whatever.
Exactly. Yeah.
it's like it's the 8 hours on the boat and then having to get back on the bike
Yeah.
to ride in
true,
a country that I don't know with people that are going to be in cars. So I'm like, do I just go in the car or I'm undecided at the moment, but I'd like to take the bike. I think, in an ideal world, I'll take the bike, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, like I say, getting on track will be mega. I definitely want to be there for that.
Yeah.
Me and Owen have got a little bit of track experience between ourselves, but I think having someone there that knows what they're doing. I mean, obviously, Owen, we did our first one. We didn't have a clue, did we? We didn't go with anyone else. And it's quite stressful, isn't it? When you don't know where you're going, you don't know what you're meant to be doing with your bike, you don't know even which way around the track goes.
Yeah, in some cases, turn the wrong way out of pit lane. Yeah, exactly, and just procedures, in terms of getting your wristband and getting signed on, and you're just absolutely winging it that first time, aren't you?
Yeah, it's already stressful enough, and like you don't know how it's going to be on track. You don't know whether you're going to be, am I going to be holding everyone up? Are people going to come flying past me? Is it dangerous? Is it this and that and the other? And then, having someone with you, I think, will massively help someone that knows what they're doing. Not that I know what I'm doing. I'm not,
I won't go that
claiming that
far.
by any means. But we know how it works, at least.
I think you just same as when you're on the road, you ride your own ride.
Yeah,
Everyone's
it is very
got their
much
own
that,
pace.
yeah.
If someone's quicker than you, they'll come past you.
Yeah.
That's the be or end all of it. You
Yeah.
know, you're not going to hold anyone up that doesn't want to be behind you.
No, that's it. Yeah, yeah. And the same, track is all right. You get some idiots about, don't you? But for the most part,
Us.
No, we're pretty good. I like to think
we're
we're fairly respectable when we're on track. But yeah, all right. Like I say, you do get the odd person that sort of lets the team down a little bit. But for the most part, people will find their way around you if you're holding anyone up. But yeah, like I say, just sorting out getting the bike there, getting your tyre pressure sorted, making sure you got fuel in it, getting your wristband, getting through noise test, all those sort of things. It can all add up when you're already stressed about going out on track for the first time. So yeah, it'd be nice. I'm definitely up for. Well, I've been trying to convince you to get out on track already, haven't I? So
Yeah.
be good to get you along to a couple of days because.
Well, I think I said I want to get the miles under the belt on the road to get a feel for the bike.
Yeah,
because
fair.
I know I'll learn so much more about the bike when it's on track.
Yeah, you
but
will.
I've got to feel confident in myself being on that bike on the track.
Yeah.
And also, if I'm doing a few thousand shakedown miles, any issues are going to show their head. So it gives me a chance to rectify any issues that come up, and hopefully then by the time it does go on track, there's not really any problems with it,
Yeah, no, that's fair. I mean, when you think, because obviously there's the Orwell's one that you're hoping to get to in September. Do you think you're going to get on that? Or
I don't think I'll get on that. Not because I won't be ready, but I think their spaces are filled up fairly sort of sharpish.
Right.
So it might not even be this year that I get it on track.
I hope so.
I would love to get it on track this year, but it all just depends sort of how the bike behaves, really.
Yeah.
Obviously, finances are a big thing as well. Obviously, I live a lot on my own, so I have to be sensible at times.
Yeah, I mean,
as we all do.
Yeah, track
As
days
we all
aren't
do,
cheap at the end of the day, are they? I know, all right, it's what, 100, round SNET, it's what, 135, 140 quid for a day session?
Yeah,
But then you have
more on
got
the
to
weekends.
consider, your servicing more often, your fuel, your tyre wear, everything else that comes with it, that can quite quickly add up. So, yeah, it's not something that everyone can necessarily
in a way
enjoy straight away.
that's kind of where we're all a bit fortunate that we've all got our car tests, we've all got cars, we've all got other transport. So if I do take the bike round track and absolutely shred the tyres, which I won't because I'm a novice, I'm very much a beginner. If I do ruin the tyres, it's not the end of the world. I've got the car at home.
Yeah.
But then it just means that I've then got to put more money to get it back on the road.
Exactly.
It's
all
kind of
things that need to be considered still. Yeah,
that's it.
I mean, we've ridden to a few track days, haven't we, Owen? And it's all right. It's not a terrible thing to do, but having a car on a trailer or a van, it just takes a lot of the pressure off. Like if you have a mechanical or a bit of an incident that means you can't ride home for whatever reason, knowing that you can still get yourself home, it's lovely, really, isn't it? It's a bit of a privilege.
Definitely.
But yeah, it really helps, I think, with your confidence on track as well. You're a little bit less, whether it's a good thing or not, I don't know, but you maybe push yourself a little bit harder than what you normally
I think you
would.
ride a little bit less tight, you know, knowing you've kind of got that comfort blanket, and a way
exactly,
to get home regardless.
Yeah.
Which actually is probably a good thing.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. Like you say, you're a little bit less stressed. It's one less thing to think about. I mean, as Griff has told us, the quickest way to get around a corner is to get from apex to apex without worrying about anything else, basically, worrying that anything's going to happen. So having that one less thing to worry about is always quite nice as well. So, yeah, it's good. But, right, I think we've been going for quite a while already. I think we're probably at about the spot to wrap this up.
Yeah, sounds good. No, it's been good talking to you, mate. Good to have you on. And
nice to finally meet you.
Yeah, absolutely. And looking forward to doing a few more.
Definitely.
Keep in touch, and good to hear how you're getting on. As you continue to learn and progress on the road, and then eventually do some track days and shit.
Track days and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that would be good.
I am a bit worried that once I do that first track day, I won't want to ride on the road at all. Because obviously I've been listening to the previous podcasts, and obviously I know you don't really do any road riding at all, really.
Not much.
And I'm quite. I do enjoy taking a bike to work if it's a nice morning.
You still will. I mean, obviously, Owen, you still get out on the road, don't you? For me, it's as much of just a safety thing, and as well as time and flipping between road fairings and track fairings for the Tono. And there's lots of things that added up that caused me to sort of think, well, I couldn't justify riding on the road at the same time. But that's not a lot. I think a lot of people still do both, don't they? And especially us, for a lot of years, we were doing road, one track day. And then a load of road riding again, and it would just be we'd squeeze them in as a bit of a treat here and there. Whereas, obviously things have changed around a little bit now. But yeah, I don't think it's going to take things away from you, especially when you're still absolutely in love with the bike and it's early stages still of riding.
Phenomenal.
But yeah, great. No, we're definitely nice to get a perspective from someone that's just passed and seeing your ambitions and everything and seeing where it's going to go. We'll have to see how it actually goes. Hopefully, if this podcast carries on, which I'm hoping it will, if anyone actually listens. I hate saying it because I feel like a cringy YouTube guy, but likes, comments, subscribes, all of that sort of stuff does really help me out. Share it around and stuff. It helps with the pod. It helps get the word out, which means that hopefully we can.
If anyone out there has got conversations they want us to touch on,
Definitely,
if there's anything that they want to know about us,
any
or anything
comments,
like that,
yeah, let us know what you want to hear us talking about. Equally, if there's any interesting guests that want to come on, I was quite lucky. I managed to get 3 really interesting guys on last weekend when I was at Castle Combe. 3 of the instructors from that track day. I think a lot of people quite like that from some of the feedback that I've heard. So yeah, any interesting guests, we've got a few more lined up, but always open to more suggestions anyway. But yeah, Keegan, thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
And Owen, obviously, thank you very much as well, as always.
As always.
Yeah, until the next one.